Ancestor Spirit. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising in the North Node. I have cleansed the space, meditated on the cards. Ancestors, what messages do you have? Move your body, dance, breathe, and flow. You may be feeling a push to become more active. More active in your self-expression. Finding yourself going in within and meditating on your breathing, going with the flow of life. Dancing to the tune of your own drum. Earth magic, nature, rituals, and charms. Make sure you're taking your spiritual baths. Some aromatic oils, herbs, dried flowers. Nature spirits, elves, fairies, rock formations. The Fae dimension. F-A-E. F-A-E-R-Y. Fairy. We're not going to embellish too much on intuitive significance here, as we are on the resources. The need for flow, to just let it flow, let it flow. Rituals. You may feel the need to carry out your self-care regimens, different spiritual practices, what you need to get yourself into alignment or be into alignment with your environment. Some of you may be spending a lot of time outside, finding totems, connecting with the earth. Look up the Fae realm and make sure you're aware of the type of entities that are trying to connect with you. Feel and be in flow, and don't be in fear. But there's like certain things when these spirits or these entities or magical beings in a hypothetical fantasy fiction pseudoscience they claim type of meaning, just make sure that there's certain things you cannot do in the Fey realm. And even if you visit this dimension, let's say in your dreams for example, there's certain things you're not supposed to do. This brought me to I actually read something about this in a book where it was telling me that if you're a masculine figure, not to engage with, if you're approached in this dimension by a woman, not to kiss her. It's a part of, I believe, Irish folklore. I'm really just playing with this book at this point. Okay. Okay. Move your body. Dance, breathe, and flow. Polynesian explorers journeyed long distances over water before settling in the Hawaiian Islands around 400 CE. They brought livestock, plants, and a culture rich with ceremonial song and dance. Over generations, the settlers developed a distinct culture of their own, unique to the Hawaiian Islands. Hula is a temple dance dedicated to the gods and goddesses and village chiefs, usually accompanied by song, chant, and musical instruments. Hula was divinely gifted to the indigenous Hawaiians to connect them with their deities, their land, and their history. Hula begins with ritual blessings, prayer, singing, and chanting to honor goddess Laka, the patron of Hula and the goddess of the forest and plants. The ceremonial dancers were extremely dedicated, as there was an important role in the community and required rigorous physical and spiritual training. You are encouraged to ground your spiritual endeavors through breath and body work. Your physical body needs your attention. Try regular low-impact exercises such as yoga, swimming, dancing, or Tai Chi. That will improve your coordination, build muscle strength, and help you focus on your breathing. Moving your body is powerful as it enables you to become more connected with your spiritual self. Be aware of your physical needs. Get to know what areas of your body require attention. Set out to increase your physical strength. This is not a time for you to put yourself down or focus on anything you may feel is negative about your body. It is a time for the powerful reclamation of your physical self, of your whole self. Actively work towards the best health possible. Dancing is also highlighted. Enjoy some music, relax, and let energy flow as you move your body. Earth magic, nature rituals, and charms. During the early Anglo-Saxon period, people were not able to read or write, so their history and knowledge were passed on through storytelling, and they believed in supernatural creatures such as elves, dragons, and invisible lines of power that ran through everything on Earth. Spirits lived in the trees, rocks, mountains, rivers, lakes, oceans, and the ponds. In accordance with these beliefs, the Anglo-Saxons used charms, symbols, talismans, herbal potions, precious stones, crystals, chants, and spells to protect them. Let me just begin by saying, in the spiritual realm or community, in your spiritual sense, if you are operating in a way where you feel you have to cloak yourself, and some of these practitioners, I know there's a lot of stigma associated with spirituality, toxic positivity. There's so many different facets to these different things. Tarot, Reiki, yoga. I want to reinforce something that a quote, it was a quote or an e-card or something that I found that resonated with me, and I posted, and it was saying that the only one who is wasting time is the one who's running around the mountain telling someone else that their path is wrong. The inclination to people's tendency to want to connect with themselves or other things that move them in life is not it's not your determination to make. But with the rise of popularity and interest in these things, and how the tarot, for example, has kind of just blown up in the spiritual community, I don't recommend all of these things or any of these things for anyone who isn't naturally inclined to seek this knowledge. And not against anyone attaining it. It's just, we pick our own path. Let me pick up where I was. So, back to what I was trying to say though. If you're doing something that you feel is goes against your better judgment or your moral compass, you may be engaging in some kind of practices or rituals that are maybe considered unethical. You would feel the need to what they call cloak yourself when they brought up spells to protect them. So there's a difference between spiritual fortification and protecting your energy, clearing bad and negative energy and spirits and things like that from your aura and your environment. There's a difference between spiritual fortification, protecting yourself from other people invading your aura and your energy, versus engaging in rituals and unethical rituals and things of the matter to try to manipulate or peer into other people's lives, and you have to cloak yourself for protection because what you're doing is not right. Okay, take what resonates. This is not going to apply to everyone, so we're just going to pick back up where we left off and proceed. People visited soothsayers, wise women, and cunning men for healing, protections, potions, spells, and magical items. Cunning folk were highly respected and valued healers in the community. People who are awakening to spiritual gifts, in whatever form that might be, it's not something that is beyond any of us. But your energy and intention behind it is important, because it's just like the concept or notion in any other facet of life of the idea of like abuse of power. So if you step back into your power and you abuse your gifts, they will be blocked or eliminated from you, because these don't stand by any cultural or virtuous practice. Stigma or no stigma. We're not going to get carried away with the social politics of spiritualism. This is just important, and I feel like it's necessary to know. Because if you're using these forces for anything other than your highest self or your higher good or the highest good of other people, there's consequences. And it's not up to any of us, spiritual or non-spiritual, to determine what those consequences are. And they'll come in the form of the law of cause and effect, and karma, and dharma, and other different mannerisms you want to use to express it. Take a look at your everyday rituals and charms and find ways to bring some magic into your daily routine. Watch the sunrise or dip your toes in the ocean and invite the wonder and healing of nature into your world. Incorporate ritual into your spiritual practices. Herbs, crystals, or natural remedies may hold an answer for you. Learn more about earth and water spirits and how you can connect with their energy in and around your environment. Go to a place in nature that draws you, such as a forest, mountain, river, or sea. Once you feel you are at the right place, physically protect yourself. Quiet your mind, meditate, and focus on what you want to feel around you and what you want to see in your mind's eye. You may be surprised at the nature spirits you sense around you. This card may also be promoting you to make a talisman for yourself or to carry a protective crystal with you. What was this one? Was reminding me of something. So when it said take a look at your everyday rituals and charms and find ways to bring some magic into your daily routine. And when I talk about the ethics of spirituality and its own sense of magic and the changes, the positive changes, important changes that it can make in your life. When they talked about in The Secret, the film that I posted, The Secret, they talked about the Disney or folklore legend of like Aladdin and the lamp and the genie. When they talk about spiritual or magical ethics, you know. You remember that scene when they're in the cave and the genie's like pretending to be a zombie and he's like kind of explaining like the rules. There's like unwritten rules and levels to this. And when you're going against that moral code of ethics, you know, like, you know, I can't force anybody to fall in love with you. I can't bring anyone back from the dead. Respect all altars. Listen and respect even opposing opinions and views. People from different walks and backgrounds of life. As long as you are being guided by your moral compass and you know you're not doing anything that is causing harm to yourself or others. You know, do you. Learn more about earth and water spirits and how you can connect with their energy around your environment. Make sure you're protecting yourself and you're making sure that there aren't any holes in your aura or that you're not engaging or breaking the rules and engaging with negative spirits, negative earth or negative earth spirits. I know, like, there's like brownies. They call brownies in the Fey realm. And that's all I remember reading about briefly. I mean, I just scratched the surface, but I think it was like Irish folklore or something. It was saying, like, if you ever find yourself spiritually or astral projecting, which is like lucid dreaming, and you find yourself in another like fictional dimension and stuff, and you're interacting with these beings in like out of nowhere, you're like, you have a dream, you're in the woods and you're walking through a forest and a woman appears out of nowhere and she approaches you. Don't kiss her. Don't kiss her. Nature spirits. Okay. This may be a little left field for some of you. Lots of logic there, even in the metaphysical state, our senses, because, I don't know. The Hold Folk, or hidden people of Iceland, nature spirits, elves, fairies, and rock formations. Iceland are strange elf-like creatures. People of Iceland are strange elf-like creatures who live in the mounds. It is thought that the Hold Folk can connect with humans through dreams, telepathy, and direct communication. However, most people are not able to see or communicate with them. So small, brightly painted, wooden doors are placed in front of rock formations or boulders where the Hold Folk are thought to live. This kind of reminds me of that little tiny village in the Smurfs. In the old school cartoons that were made when I was a kid. The little mushroom, little village there. It was cute. However, most people are not able to see or communicate with them. So small, brightly painted wooden doors placed in front of the rock formations or boulders where the Hold Folk are thought to live. Anyone who climbs on or disturbs the Hold Folk rock dwellings are said to experience bad luck. The Hold Folk might express their anger or dissatisfaction by causing natural disasters, crop failures, or illness in humans and livestock. However, when they're happy with humans, the Hold Folk can bless farmers with abundant crops, favorable weather, or smooth seas for sailing. To connect with the Hold Folk or elves, go into a quiet place in nature, especially somewhere with boulders or rock formations. Sit quietly, physically. The picture rocks in Michigan. I'm in Michigan, from Michigan. Sit quietly, physically protect yourself, and close your eyes and pay attention to what you feel. You may be surprised at what you experience. You may even see light orbs floating around you with your physical eyes or your third eye. See if you notice any movement or shadows around the rocks. Be open to receiving messages from the Hold Folk. And when you are ready to go home, respect the natural environment by thanking the local Hold Folk or elves. Pay attention to what you see and sense when you are out in nature, particularly when you are around rock formations. As wild as it sounds, you're being called to connect with nature spirits and elves in your area. Respect the wilderness as a home for beings seen and unseen. This card may suggest someone doesn't want to be disturbed. Respect their space and let them come to you. I'm going to read that again. This card may suggest someone doesn't want to be disturbed. You're being called to connect with nature spirits and elves. But don't disturb them. Let them come to you. I'm going to bring this reading to a close. Thank you, Ancestor Spirit. And I hope to see you next time.